So we'll start with a quiet sitting together as we always do. And I want to encourage you to sense the magnetic pull that brought you to class, the commitment that you have to your practice to be here, particularly when times are still swirling around us in terms of news. So really acknowledging that you made the effort to be here. Let's sit for a bit together, please. You can imagine that you're arriving, you're getting sort of poured into your body. So here you are, as if you were pouring water into a container. You are being poured into your body by being here. Also means you're kind of taking back your vitality from all the things that would captivate or dissipate your vitality. As you sense yourself arriving, I use the analogy of being poured into, like putting water in a vessel, or some other sense that you have for that. Now also lengthen up through your spine, and then up through the roof of your mouth and up to the crown of your skull. Set your shoulders back very slightly, so your heart can feel broad on the front side, but you can also be aware of the back side of the heart, like a full spectrum experience of your heart. And as you go upwards through your spine and also through your heart, let the breath go downwards to help you be more grounded. So first part of the inhale and first part of your exhale are both in the pelvis. And then the in-breath and the out-breath gently rise up to nourish your whole body from the inside. And bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. So acknowledge your efforts, the stepping stones that guided you to be here this afternoon at a dedicated time to practice in a tradition and with a community. So we say, Buddha saranam gacchami, Dharma saranam gacchami, Sangha saranam gacchami. We take refuge in the teacher, the massive teacher, not me standing in for teacher, the teacher within you as well. We take refuge in the teachings, the Dharma, the wisdom teachings, and we take refuge in the community and being here with each other. So we'll chant together Sahana Vavatu, acknowledging that we're here together. Let's begin. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunakto Saviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidveshavai Sahana vavatu. Sahana bhunaktu. Saviryam karavavai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidveshavahi. Om Sahana Vavatu. Sahana Bhunaktu. Saviryam Karavavai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidveshavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart and release your hands. And sitting up tall, please walk your hands out over your knees. So what you have, if possible, two straight arms. And then when your hands are out over the knees, the feeling that your shoulders come slightly down right here. And when you inhale, start with your gaze down and inhale using the ujjayi breath to bring the heart and then your throat and then your gaze up. And then we're going to be exhaling out the mouth like a straw, and we'll take that exhale all the way down to the starting position. And that exhale today is going to have a sound. So let's begin with the ujjayi inhale together. Again. And again. Bring your head up to neutral. Rest a moment. Buddha saranam gacchami. Dharma saranam gacchami. Sangha saranam gacchami. We're going to repeat, but this time we'll inhale using the sitali. So you make a straw shape with the tongue. And you'll be inhaling, drawing up, drawing up, drawing up. At the top of the inhale, you're going to place the tongue behind the top two teeth and bring your head to neutral. When the tongue is then the same temperature as the inside of the mouth, we'll exhale and blow out like a straw. Okay, so let's begin with sitali for the inhale. Bring the tongue in, make the head level. Gaze down, repeating. One more. Deeply relax. Buddha saranam gacchami. Dharma saranam gacchami. Sangha saranam gacchami. We take refuge in the teacher, the wise teacher, the Dharma, the teachings, the Sangha, the community. Please bring your right hand up and closing the right nostril. We'll inhale left, slight pause, exhale right, inhale right, little pause, exhale left. This is called nadi shodhana. If you're able to, it's helpful to balance the length of your inhale with the length of your exhale. You will not be using ujjayi breathing during nadi shodhana. Let's begin. Inhale left. At your own pace, exhale right. Inhale right. Continuing. You can complete with your next exhale through your left nostril and then rest your hands in your lap. Okay, let's transition to table pose, please. I'll change my camera. My hope is that was quieting for whatever mind state you come into class with today, that you have some inner quiet now. So we're going to do cat-cow. Some of you, if you've known me for any amount of time, you know I don't have a commitment to the inhale for cat and the exhale for cow, or the inhale for cow and the exhale for cat. I'm willing to vary it. And this morning we'll be doing inhale for inhale for cow and exhale for cat. And we're going to use sitali just like we did when we were sitting. So come to your table pose, and when you inhale to cow pose, you'll be arching the spine. I'm going to ask you to try to make the last part of the inhale that you're also stretching the chin forward and the tongue forward. You'll be using your straw inhale. And then when you exhale, you're going to blow out through a different kind of straw, the straw of the lips. Okay, let's begin. Make a straw with the tongue. Come to cow pose as you inhale. Blow out as you exhale. Go to cat pose. Make the tongue like a straw. Inhale to cow. Place the tongue inside the mouth. Keep your cow pose until your tongue is the same temperature as the upper palate. Then blow out, cat pose. Again. Last one. Now breathe in through the nose, come to table pose. Curl your toes under and reach up and back to downward facing dog pose. Now is a good time to begin your ujjayi breath in this dog pose. And let's see if your inhale and exhale can be relatively equal to each other. Remember, the pauses in your breath cycle are important teachers for you. They're important indicators about not rushing, keeping elegance, not over-efforting where you become breathless. The pauses remind you of your concentration, your connection to the present moment. Please walk your feet forward to meet your hands and come into Uttanasana. Let's place a block for each hand so that the deep bow of Uttanasana is going to feel stronger as you press your palms firmly down into the blocks. Inhale, ujjayi, come forward through your heart. And exhale, ujjayi, as you bow over the legs. Make the deep, low belly more and more snug to its completion at the end of your exhale. Again, inhale, glide forward. Exhale to deeply bow. Notice the pause at the end of the exhale is going to greet you. Once more, inhale forward. The pause at the top of your inhale will also be there to greet you. And last time, exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, Surya Namaskar, using Warrior 2 this afternoon. Inhale, upward hands pose. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise, upward hands. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, left toes back and turn your left heel down. Left arm forward and up. Inhale, Warrior 2. And we're going to stay for several breath cycles, so it's a time where you actually could close your eyes. You don't need them for your balance. You're experienced yoga students. And try to sense the pace of the breath today, the pauses at the top and bottom of the breath, moment to moment. So the warrior goes in all 5 directions here, up through the crown of your skull, out through both arms, down through both legs. Inhale one more time at your pace. And then exhale, windmill your arms over. Place your hands firmly on both blocks. Strengthen your left leg behind you and step into plank pose. And exhale, downward facing dog pose. Breathe in, ujjayi. Exhale, left foot forward. Pivot your right heel down so it lines up with your left heel. Right arm forward, rise up, Warrior 2. Again, you may close your eyes and give yourself a few breath cycles, the ujjayi breath, to really feel, to establish the physicality of your pose. Give yourself the assurance of stability and then expansion. So So press into both feet, both heels, all 10 toes. Lift your inner arches and tone the upper inner thighs and the pelvic floor. With that central experience of stability, then reach out in all 5 directions. Your presence is being requested and celebrated. Inhale once more. And exhale, windmill your arms over. Touch the blocks lightly this time. Inhale your right foot forward, heart forward. The Uttanasana. Inhale to rise, upward hands pose. And then to the heart, Anjali Mudra. Let yourself become very still as you rest in Anjali Mudra. Buddha saranam gacchami. Dharma saranam gacchami. Sangha saranam gacchami. Again, inhale, ujjayi, raising up. Exhale, chair pose. Complete exhale, exhale, pause. Then inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Lift your inner arches, tone your inner thighs. Complete the exhale, respect your exhale, pause. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, take your left toes back, left heel down. This time place both blocks on the inside of your right foot and keep your fingertips down for a moment. Inhale to a cat pose, spine gaze back at your left heel. Exhale the heart forward like a cow pose, spine, bring your chest forward. Okay. Inhale, gaze back at your left heel. Round your spine, root your right hip under the pose. Exhale, glide your spine forward, heart forward. Open your throat, lift your gaze. Again, inhale to cat. Exhale to cow. Once more, inhale to cat pose. Keep the right outer hip particularly strong. And now exhale, side angle pose. Sweep your left arm forward. Rotate your chest, heart, and spine to your left. And breathe long and smooth here, ujjayi. So your presence, as I was saying, is being requested and celebrated. So first establish the stability of your pose, and then the expansion comes more easily. Press into both heels, all 10 toes. Lift the inner arches of both feet without rolling your ankles. Tone the inner thighs of both legs. And as you press into your right fingertips, tone the pelvic floor, the tailbone and pubic bone coming towards the perineum. And then reach into your expansiveness from your left heel to your left thumb. Your presence is being requested and celebrated. With an exhale, root down, rise up, warrior two. Keep the ujjayi steady, including the pauses. Your legs do not need to fatigue here. When you next exhale, take a gentle, thoughtful windmill, lower your fingertips down, pivot your left heel up, place the right block to the outside of your ankle. Strengthen your left leg and step back. Plank pose. Breathe in. Okay, exhale, downward facing dog pose. This time, inhale forward to plank. Exhale, cow pose. You bring the heart forward. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, cobra pose. Slide the shoulders back, collarbones up and forward. And then inhale, roll up from snake to seal, like evolution. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward facing dog pose. And exhale, left foot forward. You pivot your right heel down and bring the fingers and blocks to the inside of your left ankle. Inhale to cat, gaze towards your right heel. Exhale to cow pose, gaze forward. Inhale, cat. Exhale to cow pose. Keep the left outer hip and your left hamstring origin strong. Again to cat pose, please. One more time to cow pose. Now inhale to cat pose. Exaggerate, if needed, the strength of your left outer hip and outer heel. Then raise up to side angle pose. Sweep your right arm past your right ear. Rotate your spine, your chest, and your heart to the right. And check your stability before your expansion. So both heels, all 10 toes, inner arches, inner thighs. And then the pelvic floor. And then use the breath and your mind, your inner attitude for expansion. Your presence is being requested and celebrated. Buddha saranam gacchami. Warrior 2. Dharma saranam gacchami. Aim the left knee in line with the third toe, please. Sangha saranam gacchami. Okay, make a thoughtful windmill of the arms. Lightly touch, pivot your right heel up, replace the left block, strengthen your right leg and step backwards, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, glide forward to plank, arriving at the top of the in-breath. Little inhale, pause. Exhale to cow pose, arriving at the end of the exhale. Little exhale, pause. Inhale to seal. Exhale, cobra, bhujangasana. Inhale, rise up. Seal pose. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, downward facing dog pose. Exhale, awkward foot forward. Second foot forward. Uttanasana. Inhale to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Anjali Mudra, mountain pose. Stand really still and stand in the plumb line from your inner arches, like near to the back of the inner arches. In the plumb line, it goes up through the inner body. I just need to block a light beam from my face. I'm sorry. No, it looks weird. Buddha saranam gacchami. Dharma saranam gacchami. Sangha saranam gacchami. Okay, and let's please come down with a blanket and 2 blocks. You can make the blanket wide, something wide like this, unless you have longer thigh bones than I do, which is possible. I'm not very tall. So then you'll want your blanket to be wider yet again. And we'll put the blocks for the forearms. Okay, good. Come over to your elbows and your knees. Please put the big toes together behind you and separate the knees to be a little bit wider than hip distance. And then just initially, we're going to reach back like you're going to child's pose, but you've got your arms on these blocks in kind of a pranam position. So let's have the head either hovering just above the upper arms or between them. As your hips try to reach back towards your heels, I hope that you experience some ability to open from the inner body, the back body, the sides of your waist. And come forward to your elbows. Put your body weight more in your arms. Walk the knees out. Keep the big toes touching. And just go out maybe 2 inches more. And then glide your hips back again. Try to open the inner body. Reach your hips towards your heels and your fingers towards the front edge of your yoga mat. And come forward again onto your elbows. Now take the knees out another couple inches. Big toes still touching. And reach your hips back towards your heels. You have to be deliberate about taking the hips back because there'll be some limitations for everyone. The upper inner thighs, for example. One more time, come forward. And this time, we're going to actually stay forward. So slide the knees out a little bit farther and now open your feet so that your feet point to the left and the right. So make the ankles like mountain pose, or kind of like each leg is a little bit like warrior 2. And being that you're on your blocks, on your elbows, please sweep the lower belly in towards the sacrum. So your lumbar spine is not sagging like an old horse in a field. We are stretching the inner thighs, in case you haven't noticed. Now, as the knees have gone out a little farther, we call this frog pose, by the way. As the knees go out, again, tone the lower belly, especially just above your pubic bone. And bring the toes in, and they may touch each other. They may not. But as you glide your hips back now, press into your elbows on your blocks. And glide the hips back any amount that your knees, your hips, the inner thighs will allow you to. And then glide forward, and let's place the blocks out of the way and put your hands where your elbows have been. Okay, now I'd like you to take the hips back towards the heels. So you're going to press with the arms like you're doing downward dog pose. And then lift your heart a little bit like you're doing cow pose, or you can think of seal pose, but we're not really positioned to be there just yet. So you lift the heart, start gliding forward, bring your hips forward. Raise the heart now a little bit more like cow pose. Yes, the inner thighs are stretching. Press into the tops of your feet. Lift your low belly like table pose and float the knees to come back in to shoulder width, hip width, and then glide back to kneeling. And say hello to your inner thighs. Hopefully they feel neutral now. So pause here, please, in Vajrasana. And now take one block to sit on, medium height like this. Place that behind you. And step your right foot out to the side. Let's go on an angle like 45 degrees, about like that. If your knee doesn't bend this much, you can sit up on 2 blocks or the numbers that you need for your stability and kneeling. Okay, take the right arm to the upper thigh and your shin like this, and start twisting to your left, please. So keeping the pelvis neutral and grounded there. So this leg is like a mountain pose, but you're kneeling. As you press against your right leg and you twist your chest, open the left arm out to the left. And then roll that one back in. So that is the upper inner right thigh on this leg. Walk your foot out a little bit farther. Go ahead and see if you can come slightly forward while keeping your right knee open. Walk your right hand forward, left hand forward. Let's keep the hips on the block, please. And slowly walk your hands back. Rise up to Vajrasana, root both sitting bones even more firmly down against the block. Take the right arm inside and twist one more time to your left. This time sweep your left arm out and then side bend to your right. So if you've got the right arm against the inside of your right leg, you can give it some good support to stay open. And we are side bending as if you were a sundial, or you could think of it like a compass and you're going on a sort of northwest position, not directly north, not directly west. And then please rise up and step your right foot in and your left foot out. And it goes out just about 45 degrees in this direction. Bring your left arm against. Rotate your chest and heart to your right. Let's keep both hips grounded. Open the right arm. Your presence is being requested and celebrated. And roll this back forward. Scoot your left foot out and walk forward. Try to keep both hips on the blocks, please. So your spine should feel a little bit like a cat pose spine here, and you might be noticing like one portion of your lower back more than the other because the legs are asymmetrical. You're going to walk this one back, and now take your left arm against the inside of your left leg, open to your right, both sitting bones grounded. Even the right sitting bone stays on the block as you side bend to your left. And let's bring this one also upright. And then releasing. Let's go quietly. You have 2 blocks. Lie on your back. I'm happy for you to have been here. So lie on your back and put the blocks up high enough that when you put your feet in baddha konasana, you actually feel like your lumbar spine is a little bit more down towards the floor, not more arched away from the floor. So I'd like the blocks not to be the farthest out nor the lowest possible, but really bring them in to support. Your pelvis will be neutral, lower back, inner belly resting down towards the floor. Invite the pelvis and the upper inner thighs, the lower belly, to relax, releasing tension, apprehension, just to the best of your ability right now. Buddha saranam gacchami. Dharma saranam gacchami. Sangha saranam gacchami. Welcome yourself to deeply rest, to surrender a few degrees more in the mind or the body. Now allowing the mind to stay restful, bring some awareness to the physical body in the present. I said in the beginning of class to imagine that you were being poured back into yourself, like water into a vessel. Let's bring the knees up and place the feet flat on the floor. Just imagine you have been returned back to yourself. And you can roll to one side. Return up to sitting. Bring your hands to your heart, your presence. What I mean by this is your presence is being requested. We are calling you to be present. Life is asking you to be present. Your presence is also being celebrated. So we need more wisdom and grace in life amongst us. Buddha saranam gacchami. Dharma saranam gacchami. Sangha saranam gacchami. Okay, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you very much. Namaste. And I will come up to see you closer, also using my glasses. I can't see you through these glasses from here. They're not distance glasses. I'll just try to keep the light from my eyes. Well, it's not too bad. Okay. How are you feeling?